1995, the summer of, United States Penitentiary, Lompoc, California. A rapper by the name of Yo-Yo, who's tied to the Bloods, gets an invite to play at USP Lompoc in the auditorium. She comes, and all hell breaks loose. Hello, welcome to Convict Inc. I'm your host, Robert Rosso. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. If you like this video, please push like, share it with your family, friends, neighbors, enemies, etc. You kill these flies. So, events in prison, celebrities coming in. We've all heard of Johnny Cash going to Folsom, singing the Folsom Blues. I did not know until yesterday that Tupac actually played at USP Lompoc. When I was at Chino in 1996, they had an Alanis Morissette cover band out of Orange County that came in, and I'm going to tell you something. Those events, things like that, I mean, they changed the whole, just for the day. Everything changes in prison. I remember when that Alanis Morissette cover band came in, I was drunk, and I took my shorts off and threw them up at the girls. Got locked up and put in the hole for the rest of the day, but it was good times, you know. So let's get back to the story here. So Yo-Yo comes in, she's about to do her thing. There's a security detail that's made up of prisoners, specifically of Crips and Bloods, of older or respected members of these gangs. Okay, so everybody's cool with it. They're not being cops. They're doing this for themselves. They're doing this for the administration. They're doing the right thing. Okay, so let's be clear before people come back and say, oh, prisoners are doing guards. Anyway, that's how things ran. So there's a guy out of Las Vegas. He's a Crip. His name was Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, trying to have a good day. Maybe intoxicated, because there was a lot of people intoxicated at this event, from what I am told. I was not there. Gunsmoke tries to holler at some of the girls. Yo-Yo's a female. She brings in some females with her. And naturally, he's a guy. He's in prison. There's some females. He wants to holler at them. Well, that didn't sit well with another Blood from San Diego who was keeping security. I believe his name was Yard, if I have this correct. I took notes, but I've memorized them. So Yard steps to Gunsmoke and says, hey, Blood, step back. Now, this is a Crip that he's calling Blood. Gunsmoke says, I ain't no Blood. What are you saying? Yard returns and says, hey, Blood. So step off, or whatever was said. At that point, feeling disrespected twice now, Gunsmoke took off on him. And you can imagine in an auditorium full of gang members, Crips and Bloods, what happens next? All hell breaks loose. I was told that the melee between these two gangs took place for approximately 5 minutes. I've had people ask me, have you been in riots, Rob, whatever. Do you know how long 5 minutes is in a prison fight or a prison riot? You know how long that is? I have been involved giving guys violations for 13 seconds, and I wish the 13 seconds seemed like hours. So when you're thinking about something like that, 5 minutes is a long time, okay? But then something happened. Staff try to intervene. Correctional officers try to intervene. Boys going crazy out of there. Staff intervenes. And they start getting punished. And I don't mean just punished. I mean everybody turned on the staff, and the staff then became the focus point of the targeted assaults. Correction officers, take note from what I'm about to say. All that security detail, all those protocols and procedures to keep safety in place, all the things that you're supposed to do to keep guards and inmates safe, out the window during a riot, okay? All the guards peed on themselves, scurried, scared to death. Help, getting beat to death. Excuse me, I didn't mean to death. They didn't get beat to death. They were just getting maybe punishment for how they responded to certain individuals over their years. I don't know. I'm not saying that's a good thing. But I want all correctional officers to take note about this. Enter Correctional Officer Pike. Who was Pike? Pike was known amongst his fellow comrade staff as an inmate lover and was pretty much despised of. They despised this guy. This guy was proudly pro-inmate. The one person he had a very good relationship with was Carmine Persico, former boss of the Colombo crime family out of New York. Carmine had an Italian club in Lompoc in building GHC. GHC was a building that had a bunch of different little rooms, I guess, or if you will, that, you know, had the Italian club, they had a Black cultural club, Mexican club. So there's places for guys to go hang out. And I've been involved in that at Chino with, I was a friend of the Jewish Fellowship, and it wasn't about the religion. It was about a place to go to hang out, watch TV, eat, where there's no staff that really come around. They can come in, but they really don't. So it was just like a timeout, like a getaway place or something. Pike used to go smoke cigars with Carmine Persico. He was close with Carmine, from what I am told. When the melee in the auditorium happens at the Yo-Yo concert, no staff were allowed. They were getting beat, except for Pike. Pike walks in. Nobody touches him because he's the cool cop, okay? And starts getting all these dudes that got beat up, all these freaks that were, all these correctional officers that were scared, and just starts taking them out one by one, and everybody lets him do his thing. Lets him do his thing. So remember, correctional officers, which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the 30 to 50 Lompoc COs that all got scared and peed on themselves? Or do you want to be Pike? I'm just asking that question. Now let's get on with the story. Pike clears the auditorium out. One man team with the permission of all the prisoners there. They call for a lockdown or tell them to go back to their units, but there was no correctional officers there because they were hiding behind doors, scared to death. We go back to C unit now. In C unit, let's say there's about 30 members of the Crips in that unit, and let's say 15 members of the Bloods. I hope I got that right. I wrote it down. I'm pretty sure I did. There was 3 younger Crips, my bad, that weren't satisfied. They didn't like the way things done. They wanted more. They wanted blood from the Bloods. Okay, so what do? There was a guy sitting down. I heard he was really cool. I hope I didn't get yard. I hope I didn't get that messed up, by the way. Sitting down, and 3 young Crips go and just whoop them. No disrespect to the Bloods, but I have to put this out here. They were outnumbered at least by twofold. While this guy was getting stomped out, the Bloods sat up on the tier and watched. There's 15 Bloods about. They sat up on the second tier and didn't bust a grate. Again, that doesn't mean no disrespect. That's how the story was told. That's how I've heard it through the years too. So, and then there's a lockdown. Okay, so I believe the lockdown was about 2 weeks. Okay, so when everybody comes off of lockdown, what happens next is that the 2 gangs weren't done. So they go to the yard, and a riot occurs out there. They use equipment from the yard, weights, everything. I mean, it was a bloodbath. Again, the losers of that were the Bloods, and that could be just because they're outnumbered. I don't want to say that. And I need to add here, the shot caller for the Bloods, Zulu, or Freddie Moore, aka Zulu, he was locked up in the hold during this whole thing. So what happened was when Yo-Yo came, they locked up the leader of the Bloods. She's tied to the Bloods, was a Blood, is a Blood, whatever, okay? But they took the leader off. They locked him up because he's influential or whatever. I'm not saying things would have turned out differently if Zulu was out there. Zulu was a beast. Right? Let's give him that. Shout out Freddie Moore. And after that riot on the yard, a lot of people got transferred. Some ended up at Leavenworth, where I was at, and that's how I've been hearing about this story. This story rings in the feds. Number one, because you've got a rapper that came in. I believe the weights were taken out of Lompoc as a result of this. I believe there has been no more entertainment allowed in Lompoc since this. Thanks, black guys, for messing everything up. Had to throw that in. Thanks, black dudes. You guys always mess everything up. Isn't that what white people were supposed to say? Those damn black. Anyway, yeah, this is a big event that happened in the feds in 1995. You hear about the crack riots, you hear about the ABDC wars. You don't hear about this one too much. I haven't found it on YouTube. It's possible that it's out there and I've missed it. Again, I want to say no disrespect, and I have to give a shout out to the Rolling 60s. So, just a little short story. I will say this, that I have another story coming, and I'm probably going to do it. I should do it right now. Flies will just get worse later anyway. About Bobby Manna. About some DC thugs. Sorry, DC guys. Some DC, okay, let's go word. DC dope fiends stealing a radio from an Italian underboss by the name of Bobby Manna. I will tell you how that story played out here in the one of the following videos, if not the next video. Otherwise, it is Wednesday. Everybody have a good day. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.